Well, today we are going to find out what the youth of Ogoni think, and my guest is the President General, Ogoni Youth Federation. Good morning, Mr. Yamaabana. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes. Mr. Yamaabana, good morning. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good morning.
All right, you're welcome. All right, Legborsi Yamaabana is the President General, Ogoni Youth Federation. And following these recent developments, we'll get to hear his thought about it and what his opinion is. In the meantime, on Facebook, you can join in on the conversation at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, where you can watch, listen, and drop your opinion. Quickly, Mr. Yamaabana, let's cut to the chase. I'll start by asking, of course, you would have been aware, but is there anything out of place to demand for an Ogoni governor in 2027?
Andrew, I'm struggling to hear you.
Is there anything out of place? I mean, is there anything that is out of place to demand for an Ogoni governor in 2027?
Absolutely. There couldn't have been a challenge with that, but because of the set that made that demand.
Which set could that be?
The group that made the demand, of course, they are pro-Wike's group. That's the truth. Everybody that was there on that day to make that demand are Wike apologists. And I will remind the Rivers people that these are the same persons that came out in 2023 and told Rivers people that Ogonis are not ripe, that it is not the time for Ogoni to be governor, and that His Excellency Governor Siminalayi Fubara should be given the opportunity to govern Rivers State. Between then and now, I don't know what's changed.
Maybe perhaps the governor is governing.
In politics and in governance, the governor has the right of first refusal for his re-election. The governor has a constitutional 8 years to govern Rivers State. And we are just reminding our people that is where we stand. That is where Ogoni stand for now. And they cannot use all Ogoni people and the Oyigbo people against the governor in that manner. Because if not for the political debacle, they couldn't have been doing that. And the governor is a young man that we all supported in this state. And young people across Ogoni and Oyigbo, we are coming out strongly to reject that call because it is not a reflection of our collective wishes.
All right. From that meeting, the communique read mentioned some of the Ogoni ethnic groups or associations supporting this call, including the Kagote. Is that the true situation?
Well, like I told you, you have people in Kagote that are Wike's apologists, like I mentioned earlier. You have people from...
sorry, Mr. Yamaabana, just hold on. I'd like to clarify. These apologists you have been mentioning, can we get the names of these people that you think are apologists of the FCT minister in your word, if I'm going to borrow that word? Why are they... Why do you see them as... see them in that light?
You know those that were in the meeting. We have the likes of distinguished Senator Barry Mpigi, a current senator representing Rivers South Senatorial District. We have the likes of Right Honorable Dumnamene Deko, and all of that. These are Ogonis that are with the former governor of Rivers State. And we have nothing against them being with the former governor. But they cannot foist that on the entire Ogoni people and, of course, the Oyigbo people. That cannot be done.
So, by extension, you are saying that in 2027, you are not calling for an Ogoni governor?
The Oyigbo is part of Rivers Southeast. Ogoni is also Rivers Southeast. The other two local governments that were not there is Opobo Nkoro, where the governor is from, and of course, Andoni. And so if you read their communique further, they were making further case on Rivers Southeast Senatorial District. And it is irrational, it is unfathomable why, in fact, they had no business gathering, if you ask me. Because the governor of Rivers State is a son of the Rivers Southeast Senatorial District, whom has performed creditably. In fact, his performance has exceeded the expectations of Nigerians and Rivers states, even in the face of doubting provocation and distractions. And so, where the governor is still up and doing, what is the essence of going to be demanding for a slot from Rivers Southeast when already Rivers Southeast is the person occupying the brick house? That is why we are saying that all of that was laced with personal sentiment and primordial politics, which does not arise.
By personal sentiments, what do you mean exactly? Because you wouldn't be the first. I mean, since that news broke out, there are several people who have also, if you go on social media, make comments around the line of personal interest and all of that. Whose personal interest and which personal interest? Because, I mean, it's an election, and if some individuals think that, well, we should produce a candidate to participate in this election, well, they can't do that depending on which political party they are from and they want to run with. So what do you mean by selfish interest, and whose selfish interest?
Ordinarily, if they had come out individually to say they want to be governor, nobody has anything against that. Of course, everybody has a right to contest when the time comes. But this one, like I'm telling you, it is not their own making, unfortunately, but that is the truth. It is not, they didn't do that out of their conscience.
Then whose making was it?
They did it to satisfy the former governor of Rivers State, whom happens to be the person that they are working for. And this is what it is all about. And every Rivers man can read through the books. It is what it is. And we are not against it, but they shouldn't paint a picture as though the governor of Rivers State is not on ground in his senatorial district, or he's not on ground in Oyigbo or Ogoni. And you know, and I know that the governor is well on ground. In fact, he controls the creme de la creme of these places. And so, if they had gone individually, it's not a problem. But why are they using the name of Ogoni and Oyigbo to achieve their own interest of satisfying the whims and caprices of their person or whoever they are working for?
Well, I'm sure the FCT
that
minister.
Is where we have a problem.
I'm sure the FCT minister will disagree on the point you just made, that perhaps they are working for him or pushing his agenda or interest. Because in his interview, when the matter was raised, he had also said, well, he has heard about the people calling for, and if that's it, they have a right. And he was trying to explain reasons why perhaps they have decided to make that call. So, what should be the conviction? If you were to explain to anybody that, well, this what they are doing now is as a result of a directive they have gotten from the FCT minister.
You don't expect the FCT minister to jump at it and say, "Oh, I'm behind it." That is politics. That is the dynamics of politics. He wouldn't accept it, because he wouldn't also want the people that did that to be seen as those that are at his beck and call. But we that are here, we have been around for far too long to understand all of these political gimmicks. Obviously, it is audible to the deaf and visible to the blind that is stemming from that angle. However, like I said, Ogonis have moved past that stage. You know, we cannot be taken again to the Egypt of political misrepresentation. Already, Fubara has taken us to the canal of effective political representation. You can see that in the manifestation of the Bure Zonal Hospital that is already being completed, the internal rules in Buri, the one in Eleme everywhere, the ring road. This is a man that has come with the mindset to develop and take Rivers State to a greater height. And we're only appealing to these our leaders that gathered in the name of Ogoni and Oyigbo to join hands with the governor, to be patriotic enough to join hands with the governor, a son of the Rivers Southeast, someone that they all supported to be governor. They should come on board with him in the interest of this state to move this state forward
Yeah,
and forget all of these sort of politics
there,
that takes us nowhere.
there are those that think that this call is coming too early because, I mean, we're still way far from an electioneering period, which is 2027. And there are others that think that, well, the disagreement between the FCT minister and the governor, and this could be one of those strategies in which the FCT minister might want to correct, in quote, what he described as a mistake. You remember the last time, one of the times he was in this state and was speaking to a group of persons. Do you share the same opinion or thoughts?
Of course, the call. That's why I told you earlier that the call is not. Is not. There was no reason of such gathering, if not for to achieve certain political gains. And to me, the purpose, like I said earlier, is to paint a picture as though the governor is not on ground in the place. Meanwhile, it is the exact opposite of the reality because the governor is on ground in Ogoni. Very much. In fact, the governor has support in Ogoni even more than other parts of the state.
All right.
And
Mr.
so,
Mr.
and
Yamaabana,
so,
Yamaabana, just hold your
yeah.
thoughts there. We'll take a short commercial. When we come back, there's more questions that we need you to respond to. Stay on the line.
Nigeria Info will be right back.
We, the families of Josiah Bibi, Tiger, Amakri, of Tiger's compound in Bugu,
Morning Crossfire. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. Good morning to you again. My guest is the President General, Ogoni Youth Federation, Legborsi Yamaabana. And we've been looking at the recent call for a governor from the Ogoni extraction in 2027. I mean, you've seen some of the lawmakers and stakeholders, some of whom have been described as benefactors or loyalists to the FCT minister, making that call and after a meeting where a communique was read. Well, my guest has said the way it's coming, it's basically for personal interests. Besides, we already have a governor who's doing well from our senatorial district, and so we're going to support him. The question now would be, if there is a call for an Ogoni governor, when would be the appropriate time for that call to be made? 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003 is the number you can call. Mr. Yamaabana, thank you very much for staying on the line. Hello. Mr. Yamaabana, thank you for staying on the line for us. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? We're still, I don't know, perhaps my guest is not close to his phone at the moment. Hello? Mr. Yamaabana, can you hear me? All right. While we wait to reestablish contact, let us take a few messages. Amoto Onoruozia says, I think it's time for Ogoni people to deliver themselves from the grip of hands of these selfish politicians who have been misrepresenting them over the years. Another one says, ask your guest which camp he belongs. He should not criticize those that spoke their opinion and are working towards it. He himself is 100% for the governor. That's his own choice, not for zone. The call is unnecessary for now. The governor will rule the state as other governors have ruled for 8 good, solid years. Thank God ability at work, but that's from you. The earlier message was from Samson Oji. Mr. Yamaabana, can you hear us? Good morning. Hello. Okay, I think we'd have to try and put the call through again, and hopefully this time we get a better reception. So another message from Clever Son says, there is nothing wrong demanding for Ogoni governor, but the truth is that Ogoni people are not ripe to be governor, in the voice of Honorable Doom Deco. Case closed. Mr. Legborsi, good morning. Thank you for staying on the line. All right. A few messages have been coming in. Some people have said, well, there's nothing wrong with that call. But we'll take a few calls and then we'll come back to some more questions. And this time, I don't know if you heard about the suspension of the council CTC chairman in Akokotoru. I'm going to bring up a situation with some of the council chairmen in the Ogoni axis, in Kana and Gokana, and there have been conversations, if you're aware, and criticisms of some of them and their performance thus far. Before we go there, let's hear what some of the listeners have to say. Victor is in Rumokrushi at the moment. Victor, good morning to you.
Okay, good morning.
Yeah.
Very quickly. This morning, I want to tell you that the plan is a failure on arrival. Now, to your question, I don't think it's the time now for Ogoni to seek for the seat of governor, because every reasonable Nigerians and Rivers people should be able to see that this man is doing very well, and let us support him. Now, if you ask me, as a non-Nigerian of Rivers, I will never wish anybody go there to say you want to collect money or you want to do this just to see how you can rubbish this man. No, it will not be possible. So their plans is a failure on arrival.
All right. Ida from Nkora, good morning.
Thank you very much for this topic this morning. Yes, I know that the governor is from Ogoni, our senatorial district. So they are planning for the governor for his 8 years. They are not bringing any other governor. They don't want to bring Ogoni. The governor is from Ogoni. Look at what the governor is doing for Ogoni. Go to General Hospital. Go to internal road in Buri. So what the governor is doing for Rivers State will make them good for the governor. Not time for politics. Not time for governance. That's what the governor is doing. Go to Songhai Farm. He's booming. I want to tell the governor not to be the team, not to be discouraged. to carry River State to the promised land. Thank you very much.
All right. Emeka from Elele Alimini, good morning. Hello.
Yes, my dear brother, good morning.
Good morning, Emeka.
Yes, my name is Meka Lazy, calling from Elele Alimini. I want to commend the governor of River State that he is representing the Southeast district very well in governorship pursuit in River State. I don't know why his own people want to come and be talking about governorship for Ogoni and Oyibo. He's from the same territorial district with them. He's not performing well. But they were there last 2015 when Ikrema left, another Ikrema entered. They did not agitate. They were there in 2003 when they brought this person. They did not agitate. Why are they agitating now? We are talking about governance, not interest. What River State needs now is governance, good one. And the young man that is there, the governor of the state, is doing well. Why are they disturbing the young man? They should go and focus on other things. The man is reading well, is on the right track. Ogoni people and the Igbo people should wait for another turn. The man is representing them in their own zone. You know, we cannot be folding our hands, watching them fighting this man. We can't put our hand in River State. Enough is enough. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, Dakuko from Echie, good morning.
Good morning, Femi Andrew.
Yes.
Good morning, Ginesu. Good morning, with your guest here. Femi Andrew, hello?
Go ahead.
So, I want to ask a question to your guest. I want to ask him, did he know that the main author of that meeting was Modus Inge Abbey? Did he know of that? Another one is that, as he said, I love the way he speaks quietly and simple to deliver people. So know that Ogoni, these the people. But what is their own thing to do after that meeting hold? What was their own organization? What did they do as Ogoni people? Have they called their people in order that is Magnus Abbey have been fighting for governor, but he, as a betrayer, he is the one collected money from America and the betrayer.
All right, Dakuku, as much as we get your point, please, let's be careful with some of the allegations we are making, all right? So you don't slander a person's personality.
Okay. Abbey defected to ACP. After that, he come back to APC back. Now he's fighting for governor. But when this thing was raised, he said he's the next governor of the River State. When he fell, he now remember that Ogoni is going to rule now. So that's the mind of your guest that you called. I love his speech, but let them know that this is not time of Ogoni. Let him, the Moses of River State, finish his tenure. When he finishes 8 years, they can come out to contest. We know that the Ogonis are ready to contest election. But now they are the state territorial district. I know Ogonima can come out or this thing that will come out that people will support it. Now, they cannot be able to work. After
all right.
10 years of Moses, we can be able to go. Thank you.
Leighton Barry from Bori, good morning.
Good morning, Ichi Andrew. Good morning to your guest in the studio. Yeah. For me, I want to advise that as far as you are from Ogoni, everybody should mind he or her business. I think the Ogoni people coming out, showing their support or whatever they feel to come up in 2027 has not broken any law. They are right, and everybody is legible to agitate or ask for whatever they want. And so nobody can dare anybody to say this one is not proper, this one is proper. As far as they do not ask Governor Sim Fobra to leave his seat as a governor, I think everybody has that right to come up. And this agitation of governorship in Ogoni has been a statement right from time. And until they got it, they will not sleep. That is how it is. So, my brother, you also agitated for a position which everybody cannot say you are fit or you are not fit, because definitely it's not everybody that will support you, because you were not seen as the best candidate from the young Kana axis to lead in Kana as local government chairman. We also look at other people from that axis of the young Kana who has the best hand to emerge as a local government chairman. So I am urging Governor Simfoba to look for a better candidate from the Yokana since the local government election is on the way.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Point made. We'll take 2 more calls and then we come back to my guests, and those 2 would be JJ and Victor from Diob. Let's start with Victor from Diob. Good morning.
Good morning, Andrew.
Yeah.
You see, Andrew, it's not cast on stone that anybody will do 2 terms as a governor or president. I can remember Ambode did 1 term. Fayoshe did 1 term. Fayemi did 1 term. It's never cast on stone. And do you know that the Ogoni have long seeked for this position? It is their time. Anybody that says Ogodima will not be governor in Rivers State is sleeping. Ogoni must become governor. We have labored, we have served others, we have done a lot to Rivers State politics. Anybody that come out and say Ogodima should not be governor now does not love the Ogoni.
So what happened to before? Before Ogonis were not prepared, it is now?
Before, the Ogonis were not united. But as you can see now, there is a very strong unity among us. Every who is who in politics in Ogoni is coming together. And let me tell you, we are going to produce a candidate, a united candidate. We are taking a unanimous agreement to bring forth a candidate. All of us will support that one candidate, and you will see the strength of an Ogoni man.
All right.
And it is only when an Ogoni man will rule Rivers State that Rivers State will become that Canaan land that they want it to be.
All right, JJ, Port Harcourt Town. Let's hear you quickly before we go back to
Andrew, good morning.
Yamaabana.
To greet your guest.
Okay.
Andrew, are you aware that only Ogoni votes cannot produce a governor in Rivers State? So Ogoni will be governor. You must build bridges at the end of the day. What they did that day was just a show of self-aggrandizement. And they will be also trying to just, I don't know how to describe it, but Andrew, you can also be a witness when Felix Obwa did Thanksgiving in Omoko. The former governor and now the FCT minister was there, and he said he regretted not giving Felix Obwa the ticket. Don't forget that in the last election, 2023, it was 14 Google forms and gave to 14 people, most of them from the River Southeast Senatorial District. And at the end of the day, what has happened? The same people are falling for the same gimmicks today. So if he has promised Felix Obwa that next time we'll correct that mistake, and these people are coming out, it means another form, 14 form, is loading. So what else? I just pity these people because they will raise their expectation and the man will crash it all and pick another person. But I tell you, until Governor Fubara finish his own 8 years, anybody that comes will fail woefully. So they should just watch out for this.
All right, JJ, thank you. Yamaabana, you heard most of the callers. But let's pick out one. I think it was Litambari, because what he said was something that I was going to ask you about. The performance of the council chairman and what they call empowerment, or what we now describe as empowerment. Most recently, we saw the Akoko Toro Council chairman suspended. The reasons have not been stated clearly, but I think misconduct was what was said, which is a general thing. We don't know exactly what it was. Please, if you can turn down the volume of your radio, Legborsi, that would be very much appreciated, because we are getting serious holdbacks here. Thank you. What would you make of the performance of the CTC chairman in Kana?
Well, thank you very much. I will say that, this CTC leadership is temporal, very, very temporal. In fact, it's less than 3 months. And a lot of the CTC chairmen in Rivers, the truth is that they have even outperformed the people that were there for 3 years. That's the truth. those that were there for 3 years and refused to go. Some of them were said to be cutting grasses in the council and all of that because of the desperation that are in them. These are CTC that, if you come to Ghana, for instance, they bought supported security agencies with vehicles. They have empowered the women. They have been doing a lot of, reach out to the youth and all of that. But of course, that they couldn't have gone into capital projects that, like road construction, because they are very, very short. Their tenure is very short. And so to me, if I want to rate it in the scale of 1 to 100, I will give them about 70, 80%.
Well, there are many of those that have been criticizing, especially the Ghana CTC chairman, and saying that, well, they expected more.
Definitely, that is what it is. Even Jesus Christ in the Bible was crucified. It doesn't mean that he was a bad person. When you are not, when you are watching it from the outside, you may not understand what it is in the inside. The truth is that, like I told you, these tenures were very short, and it is not enough to start judging any of them, if you ask me. For the case of the Akukutoru chairman that was suspended, the simple answer to that is that the governor is the man that hires, and he also has the power to fire. The governor has his reasons why that decision was made.
But shouldn't the people know exactly what those reasons are? I mean, it's quite similar to the call that Rivers people made when there were threats of impeachment towards the governor. The question was, what did the governor do? The people needed to know. So don't you think it's similar, even if in this case, well, the CTC chairmen were not elected? So, yes, it comes from the place of they can be fired. But is it not fair if the people know exactly what was done or what crime or what the misconduct is that led to the suspension?
The reason for his suspension is best known to the man that hired him. It is not in the place of the governor to start explaining to everybody why he suspended him. That could also be in the best interest of the suspended chairman. Assuming the suspended chairman was doing something very funny, for instance, assuming but not conceding, and the governor comes out and says, look, this is exactly what he did. That could also tarnish the image of the man and creates ubrum between him and his friends.
So what if the man gets into another government office and without anybody knowing exactly why I was suspended from the first one? You don't think he would repeat the same thing?
The reason why, like I told you, the governor took that reason for the best interest of the state and even the man. The governor is not someone that talks anyhow. He's someone that is very calm and simple, and he does his things very simply. Has the man made any counter statement, the man is also keeping his peace. And that is how we also urge all those that are supporting the governor and through Rivers people to behave. When you are supporting a man, especially the man in the seat of power like the governor, and he takes a decision, it is incumbent on all of us to abide by that decision of the governor. And I believe the man too understand why he was asked to leave temporarily. It is suspension. It's not like the governor says, stop working with me.
All right. We'll take a few messages on WhatsApp. Some of them rolling in already on Facebook. Quite a number of them as well. Blessed Allah says, River citizens say yes to simplified. That's why we said he will go for a second term. There are those that even think, is it not too early to be discussing second term elections and all of this? Since the creation of Rivers State, some people promising Ogoni is governor, but once election time comes, they will betray them. Please, Ogoni people should be very wise. This is a trap. Tamano Kuro sent in that one. Ferdinand Nwodo says, do these men know it's time for when it's time for politics rather than time for governance? Most of them have benefited so much, yet could not do anything in Ogoni land. They were supposed to be discussing how Ogoni OML 11 money was shared among some of their members, not to be calling for Ogoni governorship for now. Sam George said these men are self-seekers. They only remember home when they are seeking power. On WhatsApp, Ifeanyi Chukwu says, good morning. Do these men know? Okay, I think we already had that on Facebook. Minima says, good morning. Your guest has said it all. The governor is on ground and the governor of the state is delivering dividends of democracy. We can all attest to it. The present governor will rule the state for 8 years and heaven will not fall. Thank you, Minima. Let's also remember that ruling the state for 8 years depends on whether he's voted back into office, because the constitution guarantees 4-year term. That's what you get. And then you can go 2 terms at most. So it doesn't mean that because you got the first term is an automatic ticket to be governor a second time. You would have to still go the process of an election, and if you're voted into office, then you get a second term, so that we understand it. Because many of us sound as though the moment you get a first term, it's automatic. You go in and take a second one. Perhaps it is a function of the Nigerian politics. Though I'm not from Ogoni, but please help me tell your guest that I put to him that he's pretending not deliberately here to drive his personal stomach interest. As we wrap up, this one is from, what's his name? All right, did not include his name now. Okay, Ipirinye. All right, Mr. Legborsi, quickly as we wrap up. One of the callers asked a question that's very important. He said, some of these stakeholders that you have described as loyalists of the FCT minister have gathered and have held a meeting and are holding meetings and coming out with a communique, and of course will definitely be wanting to work towards accomplishing that goal and the statements in that communique. Now, for those of the Ogonis, yourself inclusive, who feel otherwise, what are you doing?
Well, at the appropriate time, the Ogonis will speak. And like it has been told to us by callers, this is not the time for politics. All of this is just mere distractions. And we do not take it too seriously. But like I said, at the appropriate time, the Ogonis will speak. The Ogonis is at home. And we are home and dry with the governor. I can tell you that for free. And so we are not perturbed. So all of them should calm down. They are our leaders, even though they are with Wiki, it doesn't matter. They are also good people. We respect them, but they should just calm down. I think even between now and the next election in 2027, some of them too will also switch camp. I can tell you that for free.
All right.
Because when they will see that what they are expecting is not forthcoming, they will switch camp, and that is what is going to happen.
All right, Mr.
And I also
Legborsi.
want to appeal to them, because they are close to the former governor, to also ask questions that are surrounding the 300 million Ogoni funds that is still hung in the air, that is not.
Unfortunately, Legborsi, we have to go. We're already out of time. Thank you very much, and have yourself a great day. We have to wrap it up here. Thank you for all your contributions. Jude is already standing by. Good morning, Jude.
Hey, Andrew. Good morning. How are you?
Fantastic. Okay, it's not a Throwback Thursday.
No,
do you have something you call Wednesdays?
Yeah, it's Eyewitness Woman Crush Wednesday. We play all female songs. Yeah.
Okay. So get ready, guys. It's going to be interesting, especially with the female songs. Quite a lot of them. Legends. My name is Ifeami Andrew. I leave you in the safe hands of Jude now. Good morning.